right now, you being on the scene, it wouldn't fit. You see what I'm saying? And that's your friend. You have to tell your friend, hey, this thing, it's not the right time. And so when you see certain officials make certain moves, it's the best move to make at this time during the situation that they're in. So the point I'm making, whether it's blockade running, it's analyzing what stage of the war that we're in and using the time, place, circumstances, and the tools at your disposal. And do like Lebanon did. Lebanon whooped the Zionists so bad, they didn't have fourth and fifth generation weapons. The Zionists had them. But they used a combination of second and third generation weapons to flatten the Zionist. And we use a combination of past Negroes during my father's era, 1900s, he was born in 1900. That's why our favorite champion was Black Jack Johnson, because that's what theirs was. All the other people my age, their champion was Muhammad Ali. That's who they liked. Muhammad Ali is fine, but we said Jack Johnson and Muhammad Ali. And we're using those right now. We used them in the past. We'll use them till they get old. We are using it. We've continued to use it, and we're effective. That's what's going on here. It don't make no difference what they think or what they say. It has nothing to do with where we're coming from. We're prepared to live any kind of life that we have to live in order to reach what we believe our goal and direction is, which is coming up relatively soon, which is the hereafter. So that's what we plan for. That's the tune we singing for. We want to be accepted in that. Okay, now let's get back to where we are. Where we are is that there's a transition going on in the world right today. Everything is transitioning in our direction. Literally everything. If you don't believe it, look at Yemen. Which way is it? Look at Iran, right? Look at Iraq, right? Look at all of those, right? We can't jump in Libya yet. That's outside of our thing right now. But one thing about Libya, though, when they broke it down, they used to call Gaddafi the king of Africa. So everybody still comes from Africa. They don't get treated like they used to. They get treated pretty bad, by the, who. And so, but guess what? The population shifts in Europe is so dynamic, and the Arabs and Pakistanis and all those people coming from Libya, because you can't mess with nobody. So Libya is open, but the people are coming by the thousands. And this is a pretty big year. They try not to say a whole lot about it, right? All those people are of color. Africa is sending everybody they can up that way. Okay? If it stopped now, Europe would not be Europe. Germany has been flooded since I can remember. I mean, when I would get on a bus in Germany in the early 70s, it would be Turks on there. Why? Because Germany had lost so many people during World War II, they didn't have enough people to work. So they sent to Turkey. That's why all those Masjid, Turks. But now, Nigerians, Africans, everything in lily white Aryan Germany. Germany is the best producing. You go there, they give you get you in a quick trade and get you all the game on that. And Germany materially is outproducing the German car. Go get a Benz, a BMW. That's what everybody, right? And then after that is the Japanese. What did America produce? Nothing. Big old bucket of boats. Okay, but here's the way it is. Everything that they do to hurt us is helping us. That's the way we are here in America. They don't do nothing to hurt us. Nothing, 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 nothing. And we don't take it that way. Everything helps. The economies in Africa are doing, I don't know, not that well. All that Pakistan, all that war in Syria, what did it do? It emptied out Syria. It emptied out all of our areas. They walked over or swam over to Libya, and hundreds of them would be packed on them little boats. They shouldn't do that, but they did it anyway. But one thing about it, a lot of them sunk, but a lot of them got through. And who was on them boats? Niggers, Arabs, and gooks, whatever they called people over there, all of them. That's who was on the boats. Europe is not Europe anymore, right? Europe is not Europe. And guess what? Who has all the kids? All the Muslims are like, here, ain't nobody having kids with people of color. And they gave something to us so they slowed us down, but we'll be all right. We're fine. Latinos and everybody else. And the vision of America, the free, the home of the brave, when they whooped them people and chased them down on horseback, down on the border, that was it. It was always it. And then the same week, they double-crossed their greatest ally. They double-crossed France, the ones that helped them in the war. Not this, that war, the one that counted, right? The French is the ones that helped them at Yorktown. I mean, the French helped them. And they double-crossed the French. So what do you think about American prestige and trustability in the world today? Only people trust boss man is a damn fool. Nobody else. Okay. Everything that they have done to the world, we have to look at it as a benefit. Here's how. You take Syria, destroyed. You take Iraq, destroyed, right? You take Iran has already started. When they start rebuilding Yemen, rebuild all areas on 21st century, mid-21st century style with a little Arabic mixed in, right? Using local, but all the modern things, right? As far as greenery in certain streets and what have you, right? As far as rooftop gardens, as far as sewage treatment, if it's in Arabic places where it's little water, that purifies water, right? agriculture that study the Zionists. The Zionists using the drip method. And they growing big old fat. So it's okay to use the Zionist thing. They didn't invent it. Drip, drip, drip. So that all that water that we don't have, that little bit that we keep, it'll greenify everything. It's there. It's just that it's not being used. In Yemen, the Chinese perfected terracing. The South Americans, the old Indian societies, terraced, like mountains. You terrace them. And you terrace them that shapes in like this. So when it rains, it saves water. So then you cover them with greenery. What does greenery do? It holds water, right? They said one tree holds 57,000 gallons of water. I don't know. And you push the desert back, and you combine what you know, like Iran combines what it knows with the Chinese technology. Because China has been pushing their deserts back, pushing them back. And they've been using salt water rice. You don't know what they might be able to grow in salt water pretty soon. Who knows, right? Okay. So that you use all the technology. So they destroyed our lands. Now we're going to rebuild them back, not like they was. Way off into the future. Right? They use now 80 and 90% of your water to where you reuse, when and the Muslim toilets on the floor and what have you, that stuff goes out. It don't have all the junk that we throw in here. Right? It goes right to a treatment center. And you treat it like they do in Germany. You build up the soil. You can take it far out in the desert as you want so it don't smell. Just take it on out there and let it build up for years. And when you get ready, right, you got you a garden, a homemade garden that's got 1 foot or 2 feet of soil. Doo-doo. That's the best, that's the best fertilizer you can get. Now, horse manure, cow manure, that's pretty good. But human doo-doo is big. It is. It's big. Everybody will tell you. The Chinese been doing it. All them people been doing it for decades. The Germans been doing it for decades. If you're in the fields, if you're in Germany in February and all that, it's fine. But if you're there in March and April, it smells like doo-doo. Because they take doo-doo every day out in them wagons and dump it on the land. Okay, anyway, so we're going to use everything as an asset. I'm telling you. That's what we do here. Boss man can't do nothing that we're not going to use. And we're going to laugh at him at the same time. And we're going to slip up on him and say, you thought that was working, boss man? You were as slow as your boy. I'm telling you, good God Almighty. That's the way we talk to him. That's the way we're talking now. You think boss man, this is piped into boss man's house, right? The boss man headquarters, boss man station. It has to sit right there, boss man. That's where it's going right now. And he's going to come around. Because boss man is like the Germans. They keep records. We didn't prove everything the Germans did because they kept meticulous record. We burned 625 Jews today. 925 the other day, and the furnace wouldn't burn but a few, so that's it. But they wrote it all down. So at Nuremberg trials, they just produced the German records. The CIA and the FBI are kind of like that. A lot of the things that people just proved the other day, the way they proved that what the West did in Afghanistan was from the Freedom of Information stuff. So they killed so many children, and then they would pay them off, blood money, because that's what we pay. Right? The dummy keep all the records. And they're relatively accurate. They got a couple of things. They ain't going to put down, well, we burned all these niggas, we burned all. They're going to put it in code language, but you'll know what they're talking about.